Hey guys, what's up? It's Amanda here, and welcome back to my channel, Who to the Sims. Now, I know I promised in the last video that I would be uploading bi-weekly. Clearly that hasn't happened, and I apologize. Life has been freaking hectic. My best friend is getting married at the end of the month, and it's a destination wedding in Puerto Rico, and I'm really excited about it, but I am the one and only bridesmaid going, so I've been helping her with stuff. Family stuff's been going on. Just work in general has been hectic as heck too. So hectic as heck, get it? But yeah, it's been a lot. But anyways, I have a very exciting thing to share with you guys today, and that is this video. So, for those of you who follow me on Twitch, I am the same over there, by the way, username as my YouTube, so Who to the Sims. If you want to check out my Twitch, definitely do so. I will put a link in the description below. But we are doing the Disney Princess Challenge over there on Twitch. We play most of the time every Wednesday around 4:15 to 5:30 Central, starting somewhere in that time frame. But we just reached Gen 3 like about a month ago, and that is Tiana. And so Tiana's generation, she has to like run a restaurant, she has to have one child, she has to just kind of be ambitious and try to earn her way up in the world by running a restaurant. Now, I didn't want to run a restaurant because we all know restaurants in The Sims can be glitchy. And I kind of was looking out for this mod, and I watched some TikTok videos on it, some YouTube videos on it, and I was sold. It is called the Live-in Business mod. Now, the Live-in Business mod is super, super cool because you can literally live in your business. But I'm not going to spoil everything right now, so why don't we just get on with the video and let's watch the speed build together. Okay, so here is the build. This is what I started out with. Obviously, when it looks not great in the beginning, let's be real. But I did reference the actual Tiana's Palace, or Tiana's Place, I think is actually what it's called, from Disney, but also from the movie. I will actually pop a picture up, right over there on screen. I'm pointing somewhere near it, hopefully. But this is going to be based off of Tiana's Palace from Disney World Land, and the movies. And I freaking love how it turned out. So if you guys are doing the Disney Princess Challenge and you're having a really tough time finding Tiana's Palace or like a good build for this, I do recommend. I'm not tooting my own horn here. It is very cool. There are also some things I did off camera that we didn't get to see while I was building this, which is totally okay. But I added like beam work inside and a couple of other details that I can't remember right now, but I know beam work was the big one. And you guys will see that in the future. And I'm super sorry that you have to watch me put down these little can lights so I can make the words Tiana's Palace. It's not very riveting, but I thought it was very important to show because a lot of people don't know how to do that. And it's super irritating because you have to size it down as you're doing this too. And obviously I sped this up like crazy. Like it's at least sped up, I don't know, like 12 times faster than I was actually working. So yeah, imagine doing this, but watching it 12 times longer. That's how long it took me to do. And I had to move stuff around so much. It was absolutely ridiculous because I put up spandrels and I put up other detailings on the outside of the building that were covering the letters, and it was a freaking hassle. But it was actually really hard to just get it to look nice the first time around, so you'll see me kind of mess around with it, I think, later on in the video. But there we go, Tiana's Palace. Now I know that in the movie, like I said, it's called Tiana's Place, but she's a princess and I wanted her to have a palace. Like, we could call a restaurant a palace if we want to, okay? We could take our own spin on this and make it our own thing, and that is what we did. So, there you go. But Tiana's Palace or Place is very like green themed. It's also very New Orleans. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about when you'll see the end product. Very New Orleans styled. Lots of like weird little intricate fencings around the area. It's super freaking cute. But yeah, it is really fun. And I also had to figure out a way because my idea was to have her live in an apartment. So she actually lives here. Keep that in mind. I had to figure out a way of getting her live in an apartment in this build as well, and like how I wanted that to look, because I needed her to have access to the second level somehow, but I wasn't sure how I was going to execute it until later on. I literally kind of just winged this build as I was building. So yeah, it was something, but I think it turned out really nice. So here's what I'm talking about with the little eaves. See how they're covering up the E there? And I was like, God dang it. So now I had to go back and fix all the letters, shift everything back over. At least it was only happening with the palace part, but like still, it was super irritating. And I don't think I moved it over enough when I first did it, which was also super irritating, but whatever. So, oh, never mind, I did. But it still somehow was like covering it up, I think, later on. I don't know. It's just bizarre. Like the way it uploaded, it was still covering the E, I feel like, but you could still see it a little bit. It was kind of annoying. But anyways, I really like that like contrast between the green and the yellow. Yes, it gives Green Bay Packers vibes. If you guys are football fans, you know what I mean. But this is literally how the actual build looks. So I, again, wanted to be very true to what it looked like and follow it to a T. And I just absolutely adored how it turned out. Now I'm doing some landscaping out front. This is kind of where I had my own little creative freedom, because I just wanted to do my own thing here. I wasn't really referencing the build by any means. But I definitely wanted some foliage. I definitely wanted to pop in some colors with some flowers and some greenery and that kind of thing. So we went in with a bunch of stuff like bushes and rose bushes and flowers, and we went in and we just decorated the crap out of it. And it was a really fun time. And then up here, I was like, I don't really know what I want the front area to look like. In the photo I was referencing, there were some tables and stuff, but like I couldn't really tell how they had the tables set up or anything like that. So I kind of just winged it out front. I even put some little string lights up on the top there, just to kind of like give it an extra little touch of detail, which I thought was super cute. But yeah, I went a little crazy with this build. I really did. Even on the tables on the outside, I put little like things on the table, like to make it look like they were actually being used, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. I also moved these tables out around quite a bit because it's really hard to like figure out if these were all functional or not. I was trying my best to make it functional. I don't know if it all was, but you know, I tried my best. I think I actually ended up deleting one of the tables over here on the right to give them more room, but yeah, it was really hard to mess around with, really hard to figure out what I was going to be doing with this area. So I put down different like roses out front, which I thought was super cute, but I changed the color swatches. So they're all the same but different. You know what I mean? And then eventually I put like ketchup and mustard bottles on these little tables because I thought that that would be cute to have a little extra like something out front for them to, you know, see. I put these little lantern light things because I thought it was a cute feature for the entrance of her restaurant. And I put little bushes around it. But it was just very freaking cute. Now, the top part of this build was very interesting because if any of you guys know what Tiana's palace actually looks like, it's bizarre. There's like pillars, and then it connects in the middle, and then there's like a bell. It's just like the most bizarre looking thing, but it's very cool, and I definitely wanted to put that in The Sims, but there's nothing in The Sims that looks like that. Even with like roof decorations, there's nothing that exists that I could mimic. So I had to actually like kind of create my own with makeshift objects, and I struggled a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I struggled a bit to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. I really, really did. I actually downloaded a different Tiana's Palace and I put it kind of next door because I wanted to see what they did for it, just for inspiration. So I kind of took that top piece of that build as inspo for mine, because I really just didn't know what objects to pick up there. If you guys are ever struggling and you're trying to recreate something in specific, in The Sims 4, you know, just download a different build that's close or similar and like get inspo from it. Don't steal completely from it. As you can see, I definitely didn't do that. But definitely take inspo because it's hard to think of certain objects that can do certain things to make your dream kind of come true. So over there, you guys saw that they like sized up. I think they actually sized up tinkering parts like for the bottom piece, which is kind of interesting. The small tinkering parts, which I thought was clever, but I was like, it's a little weird. So instead of doing that, I just picked these little pillar columns. I found this weird decoration piece, which honestly I don't think I kept it later on, but I wanted to try that out there. And then here's another thing too. So in the real Tiana's Palace at Disney World, I believe also in the movie, she doesn't technically live above her restaurant, right? But my build's a little different in that way because she does. So instead of having this glass ceiling moment, because in Tiana's Palace there's like an actual glass ceiling and it seeps through to the business or to her like dining area, like the main focus of the dining area. Instead of doing that, I couldn't because, you know, like I said, her apartment was on the second level. And so instead what I ended up doing, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I did something a little different inside of the build for that, just to get the same effect. And I think it turned out really nice, despite not having the skylights. So you guys will see what I mean when we get into the interior. It was really hard to figure out what I wanted to do for that too, but yeah. And here I am, like, just kind of putting down some outdoor lighting. It was really hard to figure out a really good, like, lantern piece for that. I didn't know exactly what look I was going for here. And I found the bell, which I thought was super cute. And I think I ended up changing these other decoration pieces to be like different colors. Sorry guys, I'm very tired. I've been very busy and I've gotten little to no sleep. So I'm sorry if I just started a yawn fit, but anyways. Yeah, this was like super fun to do. Like it really was. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so I did half walls up there to give that effect of the stone continuing on, but I actually raised up the platforms too, so those pieces looked higher up than they actually were because the roof isn't accessible anyways. So, and here I am just kind of like figuring out exactly what I wanted to do with this little outdoor seating balcony area, which is very funny because these Sims, I don't think I've ever seen anybody from the live-in business actually hang out there on the patio, but whatever. It might have been different with the restaurant mod, or if I just had her run a restaurant, but I didn't want her to do that. Like, I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I think it's such a freaking hassle for the Sims to go back and forth from their business to their home every time they want to work. And, like, the fact Tiana was not doing this casually in the challenge, she was doing this to like literally make a living. I was like, nope, that's not gonna happen because I don't want to continuously be traveling back and forth. I have a really good PC and I don't have like a long load time, but it's still very irritating just to like go through loading screens every single day in SimWorld. You know what I mean? So, and this is where I started changing the roof up because I wasn't super satisfied with how it looked. And honestly, I don't even know if I stuck with how it looks right now. But I did like this idea of like sizing up the little like roof pieces and making that the feature. I just didn't know which one would have like worked the best. And I think I liked this quite a bit. Like what I had here, I really did like that. And I don't know why I was continuously trying to use that little metal piece. I don't know why. I thought that it looked good, but like looking at it now, I don't like it. So I don't like it. And then I noticed that when I put that glass piece on the roof, that it wasn't actually going through to the next floor. So I had to actually make a separate room and remove the like wallpaper from it, but I also couldn't figure out how to do that. It was just being super irritating and annoying, and it wasn't letting me do it. But then I finally got it to work. So now I actually have a skylight, but it's, you know, on the second level, and it seeps into her actual apartment and not the restaurant. But I still wanted to have that skylight feature just to kind of give it the effect that it might be doing that in the inside of the restaurant, but it isn't. So, and now this is where the fun begins. So, if any of you know what Tiana's Palace looks like on the inside, maybe I'll put a reference picture somewhere over there again. I don't know if I'm pointing the right way, but if you guys like know what Tiana's Palace looks like, I took heavy inspo. I mean heavy inspo from the actual in real life Tiana's Palace in Disney. And this is exactly where I let my creative spirit go. That was like one of the coolest things that I noticed about Tiana's Palace was that you enter and there's like a staircase moment that leads you down to this like sunk in dining area. Everywhere around you is like black and white on the floors, but this middle feature area is very, like, it just pops out. It just catches your eye. So there's like blue tiles and green pillars, and it just looks flippin' gorgeous. And then above is the skylight in that area. There's also like a performing stage on the other side. Like, there was so many little, just minute and cute little details that I wanted to make sure I like added and really rocked away with this build. So, yeah, that's my little sunken area. You'll see kind of what I end up doing with it later on. I am one of those builders that has no rhyme or reason to how they build. I kind of jump around everywhere. Like, I'll go from the first floor to the second floor, and see what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I think I was trying to figure out where to put the stairs because I thought that was a kind of vital thing to just get out of the way because I needed a way for Tiana to get up to her apartment. But later on, I actually ended up putting a staircase on the outside of the build too, so she could access it up there. This staircase over here actually led to like an indoor second level dining room for the restaurant. Cafe, whatever you want to call it. With like a huge table, and my idea was like that people could rent that as like a party room or something, like if somebody's having a birthday party kind of thing, they can have like a more private area to celebrate with all their friends and family. But yeah, this is how it's looking so far. I had to figure out exactly where I wanted to put my kitchen, and I think I was kind of sold putting the kitchen in the back area here, but I had to figure out how to get that like serving table to actually like come through that wall. Dang it, I'm yawning again. I am so sorry. But also inside of this build, there was like a clock tower, or not a clock tower, but like a big clock feature on this wall in the actual build, and there was like stained glass and a bunch of pretty stuff that I actually couldn't figure out how to keep in the build, unfortunately, because yeah, it just didn't really work because I had to put the serving thing in there. But later on, when I decided that I noticed that the live-in business mod couldn't allow you to run a restaurant, I actually changed that out for one of those like cafe stands, like the serving cook station thing from Dine Out. I ended up swapping that later on, and that's how it is on the gallery, I believe, with the cafe stand thing anyways, like the coffee and the pastry stand, that kind of thing. And another important thing that I wanted to test out, because I knew that you could run multiple businesses with the live-in business mod, there is a business called The Store, and so you could like craft anything imaginable, or like if your sim was just trying to make some money very early on in their like life, you could have them open up a live-in store, and they could sell like collectibles that they find throughout the world, like frogs or rocks or whatever it may be, which is kind of a really cool idea, and they don't have to leave their house. So I do recommend, like I said, checking out the live-in business mod. It's one of those mods that has probably changed my game and my play forever, because I don't think I'm ever gonna want to not live on my business lot. In the like past, I wanted to make a flower arranging kind of setup with like, you know, a greenhouse or like a storefront for flowers. on the first floor. And then the second level, like a small little live-in apartment for my sim to like craft their flowers and do all that fun stuff. But there's like the opportunities are endless for a live-in store. It really is. They're actually very common as well in bigger cities like New York. They're all over the UK. I definitely recommend trying to make a live-in business. And I wish this was a feature that was just in the game, to be completely real with you. I wish I didn't need to have a mod to, get this idea across. But this is also very functional without a mod, too. Besides the fact that, they can't actually live there. But it is very functional. Sorry, guys, I'm messing with my hair. It is very functional if you don't get the mod. And you could convert that second level or like just delete everything on the second level if you do want it to just be the restaurant. And you can convert it back to the restaurant and have the restaurant serving stand back. You can do whatever you want with this thing. But I just wanted to try the live-in business, and I fell in love with it. I really like it. Now, this is the Tiana apartment area that we're on. We're on the second floor. Tiana is technically supposed to be Gen 4's mother? Gen 4's mother, who's Aurora. And so I needed to make sure I had 2 bedrooms at least, one for Aurora and one for Naveen and one for Tiana, obviously, because they're going to share a room together. So that being said, I had to at least fit in a 2-bedroom house or 2 bedrooms in this live-in apartment. I actually ended up managing to get 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms somehow, which is insane. And I think it turned out amazing. I wanted green to be like the main color, the main feature, but I also wanted to bring that yellow back inside because it was a very important and prominent feature on the outside of the restaurant. And I thought that would be a really good accent color in here. And then obviously we have our like feature wall, which is brick, which I think is very New Orleans, very like kind of old school New Orleans style. And, I'm just trying to find the right rug here, which I thought was hilarious because it took me forever. You guys can see I'm just like, nope, not quite. Oh, there we go. But I wanted to have Tiana have a really nice kitchen, too, because obviously she's a chef. She runs a restaurant in the movie. Like, I wanted her to have a dream kitchen. Despite not having a lot of space. And I was able to do that. Like, I thought that the kitchen that I made turned out amazing. She has this beautiful island in the build, and it's just incredible. And it's all functional, too, even though I'm, like, tab clicking on this, which is great. I put the stove in the island area, which I thought was really cool, because then I could have the little hanging ventilation fanny thing, which was amazing. I love doing that in my builds, just having that island with the stove and then that feature of a fan coming down on it. She's got 2 sinks in here as well. I forgot about that. And she has a dishwasher. She's got like literally everything you could want in a kitchen and more. She has a pizza oven. She's got like literally everything. It's pretty great. And now here I'm trying to like figure out where I want the doors for these rooms. And Tiana's room is a little awkward because you actually do have to walk through the master bathroom to get into her bedroom, which, it's like, I guess that's fine because if somebody is using the other bathroom, then they could go ahead and use their bathroom, but not have to walk through their bedroom to get to it. So maybe it's not that bad. I don't know. When I was building it, I just wanted so bad to not have that happen, but it did. But I don't think I'm actually upset about it now, thinking about that idea of like having that extra bathroom for guests to use if the other one's being used, and not having the Sims like walk through your master bedroom. Like, bedrooms are a very intimate place, and I would feel a little icky having my guests walk through my room to get to a bathroom that they need to use. You know what I mean? So maybe it's not a bad thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm justifying it. Who knows? But I also wanted this kitchen. I'm going to go back to the kitchen, talking about the kitchen now. I also wanted this kitchen to be very cluttered, but not overwhelmingly cluttered. I wanted it to look like Tiana was working on some meal prep. I wanted it to look like she, has all these tools at her exposure. Everything is out in the open, and she has nothing to hide kind of vibes. And also, like, when you're cooking, the kitchen can definitely be not the cleanest place. And not that it's, like, mold dirty, you know, or, like, disgusting dirty, but, like, you'll have food crumbs on the counter. You'll have, like, you know, all this stuff kind of scattered about when you're cooking. Like, I recently just made my first cake ever, and I know it's baking and not cooking, but in The Sims 4, you cook cakes. Sorry, I'm never gonna let that live down. But anyways, it's one of those things where it happens when you're cooking, and I wanted it to, like, reflect in this build, because the restaurant, obviously, I wanted it to be clean and sanitary and all this stuff, but down the line, I was like, meh, you know? And also, I kind of had this idea of having Tiana's palace be a little bit eco-friendly and green, so I put some, like, water heaters in the back, I put the solar panels on the roof, and so I was just kind of hoping for more reduced bills, too, but anyways. Now, this is the backyard. Tiana is the only one that has access to it, because you actually reach the backyard from that kitchen. So the kitchen's actually right there, that door that the path is leading to. That's the kitchen for the restaurant. And so what I did was locked the door to get into the kitchen. So it was only Tiana that had access. So nobody else can get into the backyard. I also ended up putting a fence in the backyard so she could kind of walk around the side and go to the back way. And I also locked that gate too. So she's got a couple of different ways of getting to the backyard, which is super exciting. Because in the movie, she actually has a dog named Stella, and I wanted Stella to have an area to, like, go potty and, like, run around and be a dog, you know? So it was very important for me to get a backyard included in there. Plus, you know, Aurora, her daughter, you know, she wants to have some outdoor time, but be safe from strangers and any other weirdos in town that might try to snipe her up. I don't know. I know that's not a thing in The Sims, but, like, those are real concerns in real life. So I just kind of wanted to give those vibes off. But here I am also working on the outside again. Like I said, I hop around a lot when I build. It's hard for me to comment on, like, current things that I'm working on, but more so, like, the overall process. So I'm putting down cameras in the restaurant because I thought that was kind of a good idea. So she could, like, monitor and have, you know, because that's a very business thing, is to have access to security cameras. So if something goes wrong, you're not liable, or, like, you have footage of what happened so you can, like, help the crime department or whatever. And then this is the funny part. I had to go to the gallery because, like, I couldn't find the freaking paper towel thingy. So Sims could dry their hands or whatever. So I found it on the gallery and just placed that down instead. And I was like, this works, right? This works. So, yeah. And then here I am back in the backyard. I added a little fire pit. I have a slide for Aurora, like a little toddler slide. And then I also added a swing set, which, again, kids need to be able to be kids. So, now here's the kitchen. This is me trying to figure out the kitchen. So I noticed and forgot that it goes through the wall. So I had to actually delete some things here so it was accessible. And, yeah, I really did like what it looked like when it was a kitchen, but, not a kitchen, but like a, restaurant. But it just wasn't what I wanted, you know, like, because you can't, for some reason, that's one of the businesses you can't run at home, is a restaurant. You can run a daycare center, you can run a vet, you can run a cafe, a store, a gym, I believe, too. Like, there's some really weird businesses, like live-in business mods, or like live-in businesses that you can run with the live-in business mod, but for some reason, restaurants were not one of them. So we actually ended up running a cafe, and we actually ended up also running a store, because you can run multiple ones at the same time, which is also super cool, because you can you can make like a mini strip mall, technically. Oh my god, I just thought about that. You can make a literal mini strip mall. You know, like how UK apartments have, like, you know, it's one building, but they're, like, still connected. 2 building, 3 building, and it's, like, towered, right? And then the very first level are these businesses, and then, like, there's apartments stacked on top. Oh, you could totally make one of those and have the businesses be different businesses and run them as live-in business mod. Oh my god, sorry. I'm getting so many ideas with that mod. Again, you guys, cannot recommend that. I really can't. I can't recommend the mod enough. I really can't. It's great. So, but here I am back in Tiana's apartment trying to figure out what I wanted to do here. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to include in her bathroom. I knew for a fact that I needed a tub so I could give, you know, Aurora a bath. And also she has a dog, so the dog's gonna get dirty, right? Like, so we needed a bath shower for sure. Or for sure at least a tub. And I wanted to also make this look very cluttered and like lived in, so I put a lot of little accessories and things on the kitchen sink and on the toilet. And also that new shower tub is like one of my favorite things now in the game. It's a lifesaver. I literally use it all the time, and it's beautiful. So yeah, and I definitely didn't limit myself with packs, so I do apologize if you guys only have like a select number of packs, because that could be an issue you run into when downloading this build. You could be missing a lot of different things. I have no idea if I used all the packs. I have no idea if I only used like 6 packs. Probably not, you know, because I didn't limit myself. And I do have all the packs, and I have all the kits, I have all the game packs, I have all the expansion packs, stuff packs, you name it, I have everything. The second it comes out, I get it, because I have no self-control. I'm also, for some reason, like a completionist when it comes to The Sims 4. I don't know why, I just am, so that's another thing. But anyways, here I am trying to make a custom shower. You guys can see that the shower curtain definitely jumps around and doesn't want to snap where it wants to go, so I was really struggling with that for a while, but I think I finally got it to work. And here I am just like moving accessories so they don't have to snap on top of the toilet, but I can still have what I wanted on top of the toilet. But yeah, and this is kind of this is the master technically. They don't have like a soaker tub or anything in there, just a shower, but I felt like that was a little bit more necessary for Tiana to have, was like a fancy walk-in shower, just because I felt like it matched her vibes a little bit more. And I was also able to tie in green tiling in her shower, which is amazing. Because, you know, her princess color is definitely green, let's be honest. Let's be honest. So, and here I am just adding like a bunch of different accessories onto this little end table in there. I imagine her getting ready in a panic, trying to get down to the restaurant on time. Just all the things. So I thought about like literally everything in here. I don't think I actually missed anything that I wanted to add later on. Besides, I think maybe the beam work downstairs, because I can't recall if I did that on camera or not. But I don't know if the gallery version even has the beams, so that might be the only thing that I missed. Oh well. Now here I am working on the master bedroom. Again, I wanted to bring the green vibes in here as well. Also, here's a friendly idea and thought for you guys. If you're ever doing the Disney Princess Challenge, I highly recommend having each of the generations, like each of the princesses, complete some sort of collection in The Sims 4, because I thought about this on stream, and frogs make complete sense for Tiana to like complete as an added on like rule that you could do, or like an added on challenge. Because the challenge, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm gonna actually open the rules up and read them with you right now, because they're not that hard. Hold on, Disney Princess Challenge, Sims 4. The challenge is pretty freaking easy, if I remember correctly. I have to find the right rules. Oh, did I not add rules? That could be it. Hold on a second. Sims 4 rules. Da, 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 da. I think it's this one. Mod the Sims. Okay. Yes, it is. All right, so Gen 3, which is Tiana, this is what that build is for, so we're going to go over this one. The only way to get what you want in this world is through hard work. So that's kind of like the prompt, or like the inspo of this generation. And then it says, your family has barely accomplished anything over the past 2 generations. Yikes. And you're here to change that. The story begins when Tiana becomes a young adult. Now here are the actual things that you need to follow in the rules. She has to have the ambitious trait. Her dad, her father actually, must die before she becomes a full-on adult. So at the end of the young adult stage, her father has to have passed away, or before that. She has to have the food aspiration, which, makes sense. I don't think you have to twist anybody's arm to do that. And then she can't have, oh, wait, hold on. That wasn't that generation. Okay. And then must marry a sim with green. So we actually gave Naveen green eyes, I believe, in our challenge, because it says that could be hair, eyes, skin, etc. So that's where the green pops in. And obviously we had her marry Prince Naveen. But yeah, it's, the rules are very lacking. There's only 4 things, and you don't even have to max out any skills. And I was like, this is going to be too easy. Like, I think I'm going to get bored if I don't add any extra rules. So we ended up actually adding rules. So, again, the rule, we're trying to finish the frog collection. And I think we're, like, at the halfway mark for that. So we have a lot of work to do. We also had her max out gourmet cooking. And, God, I think it was nectar making. We wanted her to max out nectar making. Because, like I said, we have a live-in store. And hear me out. When you get to level 4 or 5 of nectar making and you store these nectars in the little cellar holders, I think it takes like a week or 2 sim time for them to finally age. But the finally aged nectars can sell for, like, I've been noticing the ones that we've been making anyways, like the apple, strawberry, grape, the potato ones, those ones sell for, like, some of them, not all of them. Some of them can sell for, like, 7,000 simoleons with this live-in business mod at, like, a 1.5% markup, which is insane to me. So we are making bank off of making nectar, and I actually added the nectar maker off camera, I think, after I uploaded the build, because it just didn't make sense. I put it off to the side by like a bush. I didn't really have a true spot for it, but yeah. Oh, and here's that little room I was talking about earlier, the like reserved party room for the restaurant guests. They can like go up those stairs and be in more of like an intimate dining session or like section with just one big long table for, like a party. And then also up there, that's where you go to that little outdoor eating balcony. So, but yeah, this is what the build looks like. It's looking super cute, and I hope you guys really like how it turned out. I enjoyed it so much. Oh, and I did actually end up replacing it for a cafe during the video. Well, there you go. So I think I uploaded it then as, well, I uploaded it as residential probably, but cool. So it looks like it could be functional for you guys to just play with when you get it downloaded. I actually ended up replacing that. I didn't even realize that. Huh. Okay. Well, there you have it. And then later on, I actually ended up adding, like, because I don't think we did this on the camera, but I actually ended up adding, like, custom ceilings, because now that they added that to the game, it's been a game changer, and I can't not do it. So I actually ended up adding, because, again, in that main feature area of the restaurant, it's supposed to be a skylight. I actually found a wallpaper that I made, or, like, used, and it's kind of like a cloud effect. I think it's actually from the Growing Together pack, but I actually ended up using that cloud thing, the cloud ceiling, and also put beamwork around those pillars featuring that middle area, and it really helped make it look just special, like beautiful. So I apologize if that's not on the uploaded gallery version, but you can definitely add that later on and get that effect yourself. So, but anyways, you guys, we are nearing the end of the speed build. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube. It is definitely a free thing you can do, and I'd really appreciate it. YouTube can be very draining, but also very fun because editing takes a very long time, and just like planning out the recording sessions and all of that, like it can just be a lot. So make sure you guys leave a like on the video, subscribe to my channel, also check out my Twitch where you can see this build in action. We're actually nearing the end of Gen 3 now, which is crazy, but we'll be moving on to Gen 4, which is Aurora. So you might see a speed build of that in the future. And here I am just showing off that ceiling, but I am going to bounce. I will see you guys in the next video. I love you all. Mwah, mwah, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.